Welcome to episode 2 of the Sound HR podcast, the show that helps independent HR consultants work smarter, grow their business, and deliver more impact for clients. I'm your host, Steve Randell, and today we're diving into a topic that makes even the most experienced consultants roll their eyes: HR compliance. Joining me is Tania Harland, the founder of HR Diagnostics. She's here to talk about how her 4-pillar model turns legal complexity into a simple, powerful framework that helps consultants actually move the needle on compliance. Tania, welcome back.
Thank you, Steve.
Now, let's start with the elephant in the room. Always a good place to start. Why is HR compliance still such a headache for so many businesses?
Let's be honest, HR compliance has never really been straightforward, but it's just feeling even more chaotic at the moment. I think legislation just keeps shifting, and for lots of businesses, there's genuine confusion about what compliance even looks like in practice. I speak to HR consultants all the time who are stuck firefighting, handling grievances, trying to keep their clients out of trouble, but they're not getting the chance to audit properly and to work strategically with their clients. Let's not forget, loads of audits are still being done manually on spreadsheets, Word documents, which actually means things get missed, reporting's inconsistent, and clients just don't get that full picture. So let's face it, it's no wonder it can feel really overwhelming at times.
Yeah, and I mean, there are all kinds of issues that could crop up. Let's talk about some of those real world risks when businesses don't have their HR house in order.
Sure, yeah. So we're definitely seeing a rise in employment tribunal claims right now, especially around those grey areas that trip employers up. Take, for example, employment status. So there's been an increase in claims from individuals who are treated like self-employed contractors, but they argue they're actually workers. One claim I came across involved a marketing consultant working regular hours under close direction, and she ended up winning paid holiday entitlement because the tribunal said she should have been classed as a worker and not self-employed. That is particularly a tricky case to kind of navigate. Then there's holiday pay. So this is still a hot mess for a lot of businesses, especially in sectors with irregular hours or casual staff. One particular case involved a cleaning company that didn't include overtime or commission in their holiday pay calculations, and that ended up being challenged, and then they had to pay backdated pay as well. And that's thousands of pounds, in liabilities that they weren't prepared for. And my favourite of all, unfair dismissal. This is always a biggie. I spoke to a consultant the other day who had a client skip the proper disciplinary steps, didn't get them involved. They went straight to dismissal. No warning, no process. And I mean, that one didn't even make it to a full hearing. They had to settle early through ACAS conciliation just because they didn't have their paperwork in order. So I would say there are a lot of real risks at the moment for businesses, a lot of complexities to navigate.
And potentially some huge costs as well there, as you've outlined.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Now, you've built a solution around a 4-pillar model, so maybe you can walk us through what that looks like.
Sure, yeah. So designed HR Diagnostics to follow a logical step-by-step approach that reflects how compliance should be tackled in today's world. It's broken down into what I like to call a 4-pillar model, just to make it as simple as possible for HR consultants and clients to understand. So the first step in the model is all about assess. So to assess, they first have to run through the digital HR audit tool, assessment tool across 8 core areas of compliance. Quick and easy to understand, and it gives a solid baseline. So that first step is about assessment. Secondly, it's about identifying. So the results are displayed using a simple kind of system for low, medium and high risks. And that way the client and the consultant can see instantly, they can instantly identify where the biggest issues are. Third in the 4-pillar model is evaluate. And this is about basing on that risk level, using the platform to prioritise an action plan. So once they know what the kind of gaps are in the compliance, they're able to evaluate that, and rather than feeling overwhelmed, clients can see exactly at a glance what they need to focus on first. And finally, it's all about remedy. So we provide the tools to fix the problems. So as well as the assessment tool, the reporting documents, the dynamic action plan, there's also a knowledge hub, which is packed full of practical resources, step-by-step guides to help address each compliance gap directly.
Sounds like this is a bit of a game changer for consultants working with clients then.
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, I think it changes everything because it gives the consultant a real clear structure that's both professional and client friendly. So I would say instead of starting from scratch with every client or relying on generic checklists, this 4-pillar model gives them a repeatable framework that they can trust and rely on. So, they can walk into a client meeting and they can say, here's exactly how we'll assess your compliance, where your risks are, how we're going to fix them. And I just think clients love that because it's straightforward and it actually makes sense to them. So there's no jargon, no guesswork. And also I think for consultants, it builds massive credibility for them. So they're not just giving advice, showing data, but they're backing it up with kind of risk mapping, action planning, and that kind of clarity and that kind of credibility that they build will result in one-off projects turning into retainers because clients want you to stick around and help them stay compliant. So instead of firefighting, you're offering a solution, you're becoming a strategic partner, and you're not just the HR person they call when they're in a panic.
So if someone's listening and they're a consultant, they're still doing manual audits, or maybe they're not doing them at all, what would you say to them?
So I would just say it doesn't need to be overcomplicated. You need to just start with a structure. And I think the HR Diagnostic 4 pillars model gives a proven process. The tool does the heavy lifting for you. It's kept up to date all the time in accordance with employment law. So, it gives the client peace of mind and it just positions the HR consultant as a strategic partner.
Well, Tania, this has been such a valuable episode. If you're a consultant who wants to stop guessing and start building a scalable compliance service that genuinely helps your clients, this is it. But where can people go and learn more or actually see the tool in action?
Sure. So I'm running some webinars and I will be demoing the software live. So consultants can come along, get a real feel for, the benefits of HR diagnostics and what it can bring to them and their clients.
Tania, thanks very much, and we'll be talking again in another episode.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Steve.